Hey guys, coming to you with another video. This video is going to be about the Aboriginal Aborigine tribe of Australia that was supposedly slaves to the Portuguese. Yes, there was a tribe in Australia that was reportedly called the Giants of the North, with some reporting reaching 7 feet tall. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the tribe. They are called the Yawijibaya tribe. The Yawijibaya tribe of the Kimberley region in Western Australia are historically recognized as among the tallest Aboriginal people, often nicknamed Giants of the North, with some reportedly reaching 7 feet in height. They lived in the Buccaneer archipelago for 7,000 years. Right? Make sure you got everything. Yep. Got it. Yep. Got all the. Alright. Yep. Alright. They lived in Buccaneer archipelago for 7,000 years. Yawijibaya people, known as Giants of the North. They were associated with the Montgomery Reef area and were known for the exceptional height. Other reports, historic though unverified reports from the 1920s, also mentioned very tall individuals in the Pilbara region of Western Australia, with some men measured at 6'5" to 6'7". And Ngai people, the Ngai tribe from central Queen Island, are also described as tall, with some reports over 6 feet. We'll put another tab for that, or window. We'll make that a window. A new window. I can't make a new window? Yep, we'll do that. Yep. Just want to show you them right quick. They would look like this. So now, press that. The Yawijibaya, also known as Yawijibaya, are an Aboriginal Australian people of the Kimberley region of northern Western Australia, along with the Ngurragu people. They are traditional owners of the Buccaneer archipelago off Derby, together known as the Mayala group for native title purposes. Yawijibaya country includes Yawijibaya Island and the surrounding Montgomery Reef. History. The missionary and expert on the Warrior J.R.B. Love maintained that the Yawijibaya were completely assimilated into Warrior people by the 1930s as a clan of the latter's Aptapalar Maoti. Valda Blundell recorded that in the early 1970s there was still one very old Yawijibaya man from the Montgomery group resident at the Lumbanena Mission country. Yawijibaya country, altogether a little less than 50 square miles, was confined to the Montgomery Islands surrounding Montgomery Reef and the islands in southern area of Collier Bay. The main island in the group was called Jawatap Yawajaba. The Yawajaba, Yawijibaya, and Ngurragu peoples are the traditional owners of the Buccaneer archipelago, together known as the Mayala group for native title purposes. Alright, we can skip some of that part. Here's the part we're looking for. Well, actually, it's down here. But we'll read this one. The Yawijibaya moiety system was essentially identical to which prevailed among the mainland tribes on the coast opposite, while Coty and Norman Tyndale stated that the Yawijibaya were strictly islanders. Valda Blundell's informants claimed 2 Yawijibaya clans had mainland estates, while another 2 maintained their estates on the Montgomery and the High Cliff Islands. She also had thought the mainland norm of asymmetrical wife exchanges between tribes obtained on the continent was not repeated among the Yawijibaya, who were said to maintain a restricted inter-island clan system of wife exchange. The evidence is difficult to evaluate, given it came from living Yawijibaya, but inference from tribes where amalgamation of customs had already taken place for some considerable time. Excavations on High Cliffy Island have uncovered extensive stone structures, some consisting of dry stone formwork only evidenced elsewhere on the other side of the continent at Lake Conda and Victoria. The island lies east of the Montgomery Islands. It takes its name from geophysical feature of steeply rising up cliffs to a height of some 15 meters. In addition, 3 rock shelters and several work sites, high-quality quartz, sandstone, chert, and limestone quarries, dugong, butchering areas, places for working metal harpoons, were revealed. Given the presence of glassware, pottery, and clay pipe material, it was suggested initially that the stone building might have been the handiwork of Massacre traders. Okay. The analysis concluded that the structures were of Aboriginal manufacture. One possibility is that they are the remains of monsoonal refugees where the Yawijibaya could retire to escape the mosquito and sandfly infestations that would have plagued their low-lying mangrove-fringed island as the rain set in. The quarry clearly have trade purpose and unique for the sea and then unexampled on otherwise similar mainland locations, O'Connor argues. Alright, the mythology they believe in. Howard Colt suggested that the Ray myths of a spirit child encountered widely in this region, and also among the island coastal people Bardi, Omuda, and Araguro, continuous with the Yawijibaya formed of Yawijibaya thinking. These properly refer to conceptions, totems, Rhea. According to one of their legends, the island once formed a continuous landmass which destroyed when a tidal event washed over the area, leaving only in its wake. Now here's the part we've been looking for. The von Brandenstein hypothesis. In sparse ethnographic literature, remarks are to be found to the effect that Yawijibaya were physically quite dissimilar to other indigenous people of the region. Love stated that they were of men of distinct physical type, which were tall, right? Tall, strong, right? The Yawijibaya ethnonym figured as a part of the key linguistic evidence, which Carl George von Brandenstein, let's go right there. Go right there. Here we go. All right. German linguistic, yeah. Adduced in support of his claim that there was a secret Portuguese prehistory, Portugal, Black Portugal, Easter Timor Leste, Timor, we already did that, right? The Portuguese, right? Language. Portuguese. People. Black Portuguese. Sort of, I think. I think. So, yeah. A theory he based on etymologies of words in East Kimberley place names. He argued that there were 2 moieties on the Montgomery Isles, the Yawijibara and the Yawijibaya. These von Brandenstein thought made sense once they were reanalyzed as forms of Portuguese Creole, respectively going back to Avos de Barra, ancestors of the Bar breakwater, and Avos de Baia, ancestors of the Bay. In von Brandenstein reconstruction, it followed that the Yawijibaya were descendants of Portuguese African slaves who persisted in speaking their Creole long after their masters had forsaken the land, and this deeply affected the language that was spoken there. Aside from that, No such tribal opposition had been attested in the ethnographical literature. The phonetic distinction it was based on probably did not exist. The first term simply representing a mishearing of the second Yawijibaya. So I'm going to break this down for you. There was this linguistic who studied the Yawijibaya people and realized they might not have been from Australia, specifically this tribe, or not Australia, but the mainland Australia. They were taken off an island near East Timor Leste, right? So we're gonna pull up Timor Leste map, right? Hold on. Map. So that's like basically almost near, like pretty much. Oh, this is stupid. I can't even. Okay. Dang. Oh, this just see a map. So basically, the Portuguese came and took them from this island and placed them here. Right. That's what the theory is. So that, and we're going to look at them right quick. No homo. But original caption: two tall men, desert aborigines, at Marble Bar in 1920s. The warrior on the left is 6'7", just like my cousin. The warrior is 6'5", just like my other cousin, right? That is known. Marble is 138 kilometers island from Port Hedland, Piribao region. So I theorize that these are the Yawijibaya that they saw. You see how smooth their skin is? You don't see no body hair. You got long dreadlocks, right? I suppose these are Israelites, slaves, right? I'm just guessing. I could be wrong, right? So these people right here were taken off from this island Timor by the Black Portuguese and placed in Australia. That's what the theory is basically saying. Because they're not African. So yeah. But yeah, y'all. That is part 1 of the Aborigines tribes that were most likely slaves of the Black Portuguese or Portuguese that were sent to the Australian islands from Southeast Asia. And I'm done. Wait, hold up. What's this? Okay, it won't let me. Why does it do this, bruh? Oh, it's still loading. Alright, y'all, that's it. It won't load, so that's it.